Hi guys, welcome back to Benmore CrossFit at home. Today is Skills Day, and it's also known as Fun Day, okay? So today's the day that you practice stuff that will pop up in workouts, but it's the opportunity for you to just really pick up some skills and really focus on those, because really we should be looking to develop skills before you start to think about trying to develop any form of intensity around them. So today is one of our regular scheduled skills days. Let's have a look at the structure. So it's an 18-minute EMOM. So hopefully you're getting familiar enough with that terminology. So it means every minute on the minute, you will do skill 1. We'll come back to what skill 1 is. Then the next minute you will do skill 2, and the next minute you will do skill 3. And then you will go back and do skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. So every time you'll need to find a timer. Loads of timers available on various, the App Store or the Google Android equivalent. Loads of timers available. So you need to set a timer and have it go off for a minute, and then you alternate between each skill for 18 minutes basically. Okay. So you'll do pistols. Ultimately, you'll do pistols 6 times. You'll do inversions 6 times, and you'll do whatever your third skill is 6 times. Okay, hopefully I made that clear, didn't make it more complicated.
No.
Okay, so the skills that we're going to focus on today, I want everyone focusing on pistols, or your best version of a pistol, and I'll talk you through some scaling options for that, but everyone's going to do that. I want you to do something that ideally gets you upside down, but if it doesn't get you upside down, it uses the same muscles, so inversions. And then skill 3 is shooter's choice, whatever it is that you want to focus on, and I've put up some options here on the board. So they could be double unders. We talked about everyone's doing pistols, everyone's doing inversions. Some form of pulling movement if you have a pulling pull-up bar. I suggest maybe you look at pull-ups or chest to bars or muscle ups. And then the other option is a jumping. Now, I often think jumping, that's not a skill. That's something that we've been doing since we were like toddlers. But yes, it's still a skill. It's still something that has transfer and crossover to a lot of other things that we do. Think box jumps. So there are some options there as well. We'll come back to all of those in a moment. Okay, so, well actually, let me just focus on that, because I don't want you to warm up and then spend time looking at this. So in your third option, if you want to do double unders, I'm not going to cover double unders today. We've covered them quite a lot over the last few weeks. So feel free to go back, grab a video that has a little double under segment in it if you want some skills advice. Equally, just drop me a line. More than happy to have a chat with you. So double unders could be your third option. We've done lots of pull-up work over the last few weeks. So again, go back to one of the videos and look at some options for pull-ups. Again, just give us a shout if you have any questions. And then jumping. We've covered off box jumps in the past, and we've covered off broad jumps in the past as well. So those are all of your different options that you could put in here for skill 3. Okay, so it's completely up to you. In terms of the warm-up, just to get started, 5 minutes of running, biking, rowing, burpeeing, jumping, jacking, whatever it is you've got. 5 minutes, get your heart rate up, get your body temperature up. Okay, and then we're going to go through 3 rounds of 10 air squats, 5 pass through, and then 5 strict press per side. So, air squats look something like this. Feet approximately hip width apart, between hip width and shoulder width apart. Chest is up, belly's fat. Sit down, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. Air squat. Pass through. Looks like this. Legs are straight. Keep your knees locked. Bend over. Fold onto the floor into your plank position. Into downward dog. Trying to create as straight a line as possible, pushing your shoulders through and down. leg straight, stand back up again. Okay, pass through. And then strict press, I'm just going to do it with this weight here. Take a weight, doesn't matter what the weight is. Keep your tummy tight, keep your bum tight, thighs tight. Stick your elbows out in front of you, push the weight with your head. Okay? And elbows track out in front of you the whole time. Not out here. Nope. Out in front. Okay. So 5 strict press per side. Repeat that whole, so let me just clarify that. So it's 10 air squats, 5 pass through, 5 strict press per side, 3 times round. Okay? Alrighty. And then we're going to go through our pretty normal, regular pipe routine. I'll just demo this quickly. There are 3 components to it. There's taking the pipe over the back of your head, there's taking the pipe round clockwise, and then round anti-clockwise. Okay? So take your pipe, be that a broomstick, mop, sorry, delivery's happening next door, I've got the door open because it's nice and sunny today. And so take your pipe, elbows straight, full grip of the bar, pass it over your head, and back around again, okay? I'll do that 10 times. Next, do ultimately the same thing, we're going to go around the world. So I was going anti-clockwise, and now I'm going to go clockwise. Okay, so it's important things to note. Keep your hand tight on the bar, keep your elbows straight. Oh, and the last, sorry, those are the 3 main parts to it. The other part to it is just to stretch out our lats. So we take the pipe, we keep it as vertical as possible, we actively push it out in front of us. My right hand is on top, so I push everything over to the left. I just hold that for 30 seconds, and I come up and I would do the same thing again, but I would push it over to the right hand side because my left hand would be on top. I want to try and get as straight and flat back as possible. Keep my legs straight. Okay. Alright. So do the pipe routine twice. Oops. Now, lastly, we're going to do our hip and ankle openers, and you'll need to grab some kind of, ideally you need to have some kind of weight for this, but I'm going to demo it without a weight because you can. And the first thing, we're just going to sit down to the bottom of our squat. We're probably going to open our legs up slightly wider than normal. Keep our chest up. Bless you.
Thank you.
And we're just going to noodle from side to side here. If we bring our legs in. Now if you do have a weight, hold it like a goblet squat, and you're just trying to open up your hip area. So if I had a weight here, I'd hold it here, and I'd be doing the same thing. Make sure I keep my chest up. And I'm just finding different spots. I'm thinking about my feet position, so maybe I'm going to go really wide. Maybe I'm going to go really narrow. Lots of different options. So spend 2 minutes or so noodling around with your hips, and then ankle opener. So I'm going to try and work on my left because it was particularly stiff today. Kneel down just as I am here. Make sure your knee and your toes are in line. Put a fist worth of distance in between the two of them, and lean over. Take your knee, push it out over the front of your toes. Make sure your heel stays planted. Okay. Now if you have a weight, put your weight on your knee, and allow your weight to push your knee out over the front of your toes. If you don't, use your body weight. Okay. Hold that for 30 seconds. Repeat on the other side for 30 seconds. And do that in the rounds twice. Okay, so should be pretty much good to go. And we'll practice. I'm going to give you some scaling options for scaling. And let's think about scaling pistols. You know what? Not scaling. We're going to call these progressions. Pistols. First one, double narrow squat. Looks like this. 2 feet close together. Big broad chest. Sit down. Stand up. First option. In fact, there's an option that goes before. Yeah, that's the first option. Another option that is similar to that is the assisted pistol. Okay. Now, I was going to demo on that, but actually I think it's a little bit too low. So the one leg option looks like this. Imagine this is just a seat in your house, right? Just a chair. Now, the important thing to note, Sarah, can you come and watch where my knees go? So, watch where my knees go relative to my toes. Oh, that was a bit wobbly, that one. That was better than that last one. So hopefully my knee was staying in line with my toe the whole time. Okay? So if you find yourself, I'm not going to do this, but if you find yourself like your knees are coming in, see my knees in, over, like it's caved in, and you're doing that sort of thing, think about not going so low, okay? So you want your knee to track your toe the whole time. And if you're finding that your knee's coming in, it's because your glute's not working strong, your glute isn't strong enough to pull your knee back out again. So you haven't quite developed that strength yet. So, try the double narrow squat, try the assisted pistol, which I've just done. Then try the scaled pistol. Which looks like this. Take one foot, put it behind you, try to sit down.
We have just done a lot of them.
Well, I've done a lot of them. There, that's better. And what I'm really focusing on is making sure my knee doesn't cave in here. Okay. So that's scale pistol 1. Scale pistol 2 would be to take something like this. But for you at home, it could be a book. Okay, like a book of varying, whatever height is right. Put your heel on the book. Try to do your pistol, looks like this. Hopefully you saw that my knee was a I'll look it back, or I'll rewind.
I was just willing you up. I wasn't actually watching your knee then. Yeah, your knee is straight.
Yeah. And then, of course, and you can, you might find in the workout that you start off with a big fat thick book, and then as you get kind of more warmed up, you find you get a little bit more mobility, and you can reduce the height of the book. Or if you're using plates, you use a 10 kg plate and also a 5 kg plate. Of course, it's a little bit thinner, whatever. And then, then you can try and do a full one that looks like this. He says confidently, I might get Sarah to demo. Hold on. Well, you get the idea. Yes, we've just done a whole model. All right. So the point being, scaled pistol, raised, full. Okay. So the point being that no matter where you are on your fitness journey, there's an option here for you. Yeah? And think about these as being a progression from one to the other. So let's, try this one and try this one, kind of as a minimum, because you might find actually the assisted pistol slightly easier than the narrow squat. Fine. So play around with these two, and if you find these feel good, then moved on to the scaled one, which is where you take your foot and you put it behind your calf. If those feel good, move on to the raised one, and if that feels good, move on to the full one. So it doesn't matter at all where it is that you end up on this, because these are progressions, and you can't start with the most complicated one, right? You have to start at the beginning. So, okay, and then let's think about progressions for inversions. So the first place we're going to think about inversions, bizarrely, it's not about going upside down at all, but it's using the same muscles. So we're going to sit up against the wall, and ideally you'd have two weights, but it's fine if you don't. You might just have a bag of sugar or something, bottle of water, and we're going to sit up against the wall in our strict position like this, elbows out in front, and we're just going to push the weights over our head. So in this case, it would be. And the reason I'm using the wall, keeps the back really nice and flat, it also gives me something tactile to work against. So I know that I'm staying in the same position, in the right position, because I can hear it scrape up and down the wall. Okay. So the first option is around your inversions, is a seated, strict press. And then we're going to get Sarah to demo a few different inversions using, we've got a little weights bench out here. And the reason we're using the weights bench is because it's probably more akin to something you might have at home. So you can use a chair, a kitchen chair is probably a good one. So we're going to start off with some inversions in the pike position. There we go. So what Sarah's really able to do here is she's able to get her a good straight line between her wrists, elbows, shoulder, and hips. Okay, so that's really good. And then the next one on from that, Sarah's maybe going to move her hands left to right a little bit. So just go for a little bit of a walk. So she can either go all the way around, or she can just keep staying pretty much in the same place, but just go backwards and forwards. Okay, that's great. And then the next option, Sarah's going to put her head on the ground. Go on, darling, you can do it. She's going to stick her head on the ground and do a push-up. Great work. Good stuff. So to recap, those inversions were a chair, pike, a chair, pike, walk, and then a chair, pike, push up. Okay. And in the same way for the pistols, think about these all as progressions. So they're just getting a little bit more challenging as we go through. So if you start off and this feels good, then move on to this one. If this feels good, move on to this one, and if that one feels good, move on to that. All right? And whatever it is that you feel good with in the workout, that's what you'll do for your minutes practice each time it comes round. And you might find as you go through the workout, you feel more able and you want to move on to the next thing. That's okay too. This is practice day, right? Skills day. So don't be afraid to try some new things. Okay. I think that's us, team. If you have any questions at all, drop me a line. If you want to go back over any of the other videos that have some of these things in a little bit more detail, of course, feel free to do so. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye.